Welcome back, folks. It's me, Kev, with Tarot with a Twist. And today we're going to do another tutorial. And it didn't start off that way. I was working on a spread to use on my new channel called Just Life Tarot or Just Life Advice Tarot. And one of my readings I'm going to be offering over there is 3 things to look out for that's holding you back in life, right? Because right now with things being heavy, we're trying to always find paths to be positive because things are just really wearing us down. And the idea behind it was use 3 different decks, and each deck would highlight a certain thing that's holding you back. You can use anything. You could use 3 different tarot decks, 3 different oracle decks, Lenormand decks, wherever you want. You even could use dice if you wanted to for numerology. You know what? Let's do that. Let me grab them real quick. We'll grab my red dice I like to use a lot. Okay. And so the way it would work is you would pull the cards, and the center card is the theme, the way I read this, and then you can then look at the other 2 cards to see how they will help clarify that center card or how they will highlight the energy you need to really focus on so you're not being held back. And so I did this earlier as a test, and now I'm going to kind of share with you how I read it, and you can use it in your own practice if you want to. Okay, so I'm going to call this the 3 signs that are blocking you to move forward right now in life. Okay, you can call it whatever you want, but if you want to use this, get a pencil, get a pen and paper, and let's have some fun here, okay? So I'm going to turn off the facial camera here, and I'm going to go to my hands only. So give me 1 second, and we'll get into this. All right, so the first pull that I came up with showed the 9 of Swords reversed. Now, we can do another video on whether you want to use reversals or not. That's your choice. So there's different ways to read that. It could be the opposite meaning a lot of people will use sometimes, or it could be a delayed type of a meaning as well. Or it can just be the meaning itself, but pay attention to that because that's really holding you back. So there's different ways you can read reversals. So you don't have to really do the opposite unless it's something that you want to do. And then these 2 cards are flanking it. It's more like how it's interacting with its energy. And so normally this is how I read Marseille, but I'm not trying to change the way I use Waite to kind of match my Marseille. So the readings on my other channel will be more consistent for people who watch me. So the one thing you could say that's really holding you back right now is you getting caught up in your own mind that's wearing you down. And it's a 9. It's heavy. And you can't move forward because you feel like no matter what you do, you're just being blocked by your own mind. And the thing is that you have to realize that everything in life isn't supposed to be seen. Some things are supposed to stay hidden until you're ready. So it's telling you like, hey, stop overthinking it. And when the time is right, you can then accept the gift that's waiting for you. But don't keep telling yourself that things are bad because they're not. And so it's also then saying here that tap back into your passion and explore, because this energy you're putting into this center card is taking away your energy to create, to fulfill your desires, your passions, to move forward in life. It's just holding you down. All right. And also when you look at the numerology here, a 9 and a 2, what do you have? You have an 11. And you see how it's funny because it's saying that sometimes you have to meditate and go to God or to the divine or the consciousness. Again, it's whatever you believe in. Okay. Each of us have a different path to the collective, to God, to the divine, to whatever you want to call it. And it's telling you how to tap into your intuition to find a way to, from always beating yourself up. Okay. And then also, what's this card about? Intuition, decisions. You have to choose that path. Now, if you want to go forward and use my numbering system for court cards, a page is also a number 11. And I explained that before why. So when you think about it like that, you have an 11 and 11, an 11 and a 2 is a 13, plus a 9 is a 22. And it's telling you that you have to become a builder again, and you have to lead again. And how do you do that? By getting out of your mindset, by getting out of that negativity. All right. And if you can do that, then things will then start moving forward for you and you will unblock yourself. That's one thing the universe is trying to show you, or your spirit guides are trying to show you. Then the secondary set of cards shows up here, and I use Lenormand, right? And what it's telling you is a ship is about what? So let's not look at the actual keyword meaning. A ship is about movement or travel. So it's kind of like you're all trying to get away for things because you forgot that you can't always have it now, right? And that leads into a little bit of immature behavior. and the reckless behavior is making you try to force things to happen immediately today. But you have to remember that you got to kind of have faith and realize that as long as you have faith, and there's a ship here too, that things are going to come around, and you just got to follow the star, follow the North Star, right? I don't know if the North Star or not, but again, I'm looking at the picture, not the meaning. But if you can do that, then things will open up because you're finally putting your focus somewhere positive rather than being erratic and being a little bit childish. All right. So what it's telling you is that don't force change, let it occur, have faith, because things will be revealed when they're ready. Now we can kind of mirror here. And then when you're mature, young energy, right? Things don't work out, but you also got to be a little bit free of your mind so you can explore with that little bit youthful energy, right? So even though here it's more a mature feeling, here it's more about being young in mind. So your desires can flow. All right. Now, to wrap this up, again, this is going to be a short tutorial. I'm going to turn to my deck. I want to just see how it works out in my practices as well, the one word oracle I created. And here was saying again, which is funny, the cards came up just randomly like this, but it's about leading. And again, 22, the master builder. So again, the universe is telling you that you, in order to build and to find greatness in life, you have to let go and stop always worrying. Because if you worry, then you can never make the journey to something better because you're all stuck in this negative behavior, immature behavior, future, right? Because you forgot to put faith where it needs to be, above, in the stars, in the sky. You have to realize that things are always going to be shown to you when you want them. You have to wait. Now, with that being said, the 22 means that you also have to let your light shine, radiate. That's a 19. And in a way, this card maps back to the sun, all right? And then also you see there the letter Kuf. So in Hebrew, this is number 19, or the 19th letter of the alphabet. And the Kuf, they can say, is a monkey. Why is it a monkey? Because it's, okay, so a monkey can't speak like a human can, right? So it's one step below man, all right? What that means is that it's kind of animalistic. So when you're not radiating, because this also means holy, when you're not radiating, then you're becoming animalistic, where you're becoming a lower vibration, and that then keeps you awake at night. If you can learn to radiate and keep that monkey in check and not let it always get to you, then you can start to find stability in life. You can start allocating different things. You can start allocating things that you love over time. It won't happen right away, but it takes time because there's a dalit there. A dalit is a doorway. It also can mean like being poor and humble, because when you're prideful and worrying, then you're not humble because you're not giving it to somebody else. You're not giving it to something greater. So instead, let the door open so you can pass through and start to reevaluate your life and stabilize it. Okay, so your emotions then become more in check. They become more in balance. And this card here would then also mirror or map to the Four of Pentacles, because this is Earth. All right, that's how this deck is designed. So when you have the Four of Earth or the Four of Pentacles, when you think about it in the Rider-Waite terms, that means you got to stop being reckless and start holding on a little bit, right? Stop being erratic and start being the leader. So when your light can't shine if you're not stable, if you're not holding on to your temperament, if you're not showing maturity, right? If you're basically being erratic, then you can't collect what you need to keep your composure to be that master builder. All right. So that's one way you can use a spread like this to see what the universe is trying to tell you as you go through the week, month, year, whatever, and just figure out what's kind of blocking you. And just to kind of go over this deck again here, I color coordinated it to where each element is to the color. The white is spirit, major in a sense, and then these are master numbers. Okay, so they have a little bit of more emphasis on things. And so as you can see, even though I pulled these three systems separately, the universe aligned them because it's kind of the same message three different ways. So it's actually validating itself. Now, like I said, let's throw some dice just to throw us as a fourth way, four signs of things that could be holding us back from growing forward. And we have an 11. That's crazy. Intuition. We also 9, 10, 11, right? Intuition, master number. Tap back into that spiritual presence. How? 5, overcoming the struggles right there in the 9 of Swords to find peace and balance again. How? By being a leader, by letting your sun shine, but getting above the animal plane so you don't end up being, again, reckless or a little bit crazy in how you act. by keeping yourself anxious and always on edge. Because if you do that, then you never find the peace and balance you need. The only way you can find it is a 6, which is harmony. How many hearts are there? 6. Isn't that funny how that works out? The universe never lies and it's always 100% accurate. So if you found this little tutorial helpful, I would like you to let me know. Drop in the comments below. And also, if this did resonate, just let me know which of the different lines resonated with you. Was it the Rider Waite? Was it the Lenormand? Or was it the One Word Oracle deck? Or was it all three? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you like your own private mentoring, you can go to my website, wordwithtwist.com, become a member, and I have a one-on-one type of consultation. And also once a month, I'm adding for my insiders, if you're interested in this, where you can actually drop a spread or a question or something that's kind of blocking you. And then for the insiders only, I'm going to do a collective reading on each of the different problems that are brought to me, whether it be a question or whatever it might be that's blocking you in your practice. And I'm going to help unlock that in a video that's not public. So it's only for the insiders only. And then also another thing you could do too, if there's a certain question you had, you want me to help read for you on that, that's also included in something called the priority queue. All right. Anyway, that's all I got. And until next time, I love y'all. Have a beautiful rest of your week. And I want to see you in my next little tutorial. Okay. Or reading or video or whatever we do here. Okay. So again, see ya. Bye now.